Looking for a tropical getaway this year? Somewhere with crazy mountains, stunning beaches, and a whole lot of adventure? Well, you know what's coming. This is Puerto Rico. After looking for a place to go on our fall break, my college friends and I decided to give Puerto Rico a shot, and man am I glad we picked it. Our 4-day adventure on this Caribbean island began in the famous historic town of Old San Juan. We hopped in a quick 10-minute Uber ride from our Airbnb and were dropped off right in the downtown historic district.
We have officially made it to Old San Juan, and I gotta say the first impressions, we kind of just got dropped off, and just even walking around, it's a lot nicer than where we're staying at, which is kind of like the downtown city area. So you can tell everything's a lot more cleaner, a lot more touristy too, but it's just kind of nice to get a change of scenery. And yeah, just gonna kind of walk around, explore the area, and we'll see what we get into. Well, I'd say definitely just by walking around and looking at some of the shops, a lot more high end in this area. This is definitely seems to be the wealthy part. But wow, it is just beautiful. Like all the streets are kind of like cobblestone, really narrow and all different colored buildings. So far I'm really liking Old San Juan. We continued walking down a street all the way kind of down toward the ocean, and we stumbled upon one of the coolest views of like the entire waterfront. You can see the mountains in the distance, all the palm trees, and see the boats go by. It is absolutely beautiful out here. It's still pretty darn hot, but it's cooling off a little bit. Wow. Everywhere you look in this town is so gorgeous.
We continued exploring the old town and eventually made it to a beautiful sunset spot right on the water. After watching the sun go down, we decided to head further into town to explore one of the most famous nightlife areas in all of San Juan, La Factoria.
At nightlife time, let's go! All right, y'all, it is officially morning 2, and we are about to head on out, about 45-minute drive over on the east side of Puerto Rico to the Lluc National Rainforest. So we got a little event planned. We're gonna do some like waterfall hiking, we're gonna do some waterfall jumping, some rope swings, all sorts of cool stuff, maybe see some wildlife. So I'm excited to get on out there. Let's go.
After driving in the car for an hour, we finally made it to the rainforest on the far east side of the island. We then began our journey hiking deep into the jungle to try and reach some really cool cliff jumping spots. And let's just say the hike was a bit more than we anticipated.
This is steep. It's a lot steeper than I thought. Shoes are already soaked, out of breath.
It's funny because it's actually so inviting online, and then it's just like,
yeah,
this is not for the faint of heart.
After another 30 minutes of hiking and climbing, we finally made it to probably one of the coolest places I had ever been. We even found an old rope swing where we all tried to do backflips, and some of us did really well, and well, some of us had fun.
On the way down now, that was amazing. There was like rope swings, a natural water slide, a bunch of waterfalls. that was really cool, but I'm ready for some food. It's been a long day, a lot of hiking. This is a lot steeper than I thought it would be, really muddy. But man, this has been so fun so far. What do you think of the day?
It was very awesome. The water was freezing, and my back hurts.
Because you landed on your head?
It was great.
It was amazing. So much adrenaline. That's exactly what I thought this trip was gonna be, and got everything I wanted out of it. So pretty great.
How you feeling after 4 face plants in the water?
Jumped from a cliff, felt like a badass, and then failed 4 times. So
Then it all went downhill.
all went downhill.
Cue the montage.
After a long and action-packed day, we got some food, fueled up, and made it all the way back to San Juan just in time for the sunset.
All right, y'all, we've officially made it back to our Airbnb. We came up on our little rooftop here for the sunset. But yeah, come on over here and check out these views. We didn't even know we really had this when we booked it, but our Airbnb is right under this, and this is the little rooftop. So last night we brought up some chairs. We were just kind of sitting here having a good time, but yeah, we got one of the coolest views in the city. You can see all of downtown, and actually right down there is a bunch of little local bars. So a ton of people are active at night, so it's pretty cool.
Our next day started bright and early as we once again drove an hour outside the city to reach the ferry terminal. From there, we then hopped on another hour-long ferry to get to one of Puerto Rico's most beautiful small islands, Vieques.
So we actually just got onto the island, and we immediately rented one of these golf carts behind me, because what's cool about these 2 little islands off the coast of Puerto Rico is you can basically take golf carts and cruise all around the island, hit all the beaches, all the different stuff. So we don't really have any plans. We're just gonna hop in one of these and kind of see where the day takes us. But yeah, it only ended up being $81 total for a 24-hour period. So split between the 4, it's only like 20 bucks, which really is not that bad. So I think these are gonna be a lot of fun. Let's go.
And yeah, let's just say they lived up to the hype.
So basically, we're just kind of cruising around all these little back roads, like the one behind me. And apparently what I did not know about this island is it is covered with wild horses, like all over. And if you can see it right behind me, we actually just saw like probably 15 to 20 different horses along this trail. And there's a big group of them right over there. Feels like we're on a safari. This is incredible and completely free. This is not a tour or anything. This is just us exploring. All right, sending it. Let's go! Woo! Well, as y'all can see, we had a little bit of fun with the golf cart, but now we actually made it to the west end of this small little island, and apparently this is like a beautiful beach with awesome views of the mainland and the mountains. So we hear some music over in the distance. Not really sure what the vibe is here, but we're gonna go check it out, have some fun.
It turns out there really wasn't a whole lot going on at this beach besides it being stunning, so we decided to hop back in the cart and continue exploring to see what we could find. We stumbled upon a few more scenic beaches and viewpoints, so we took some time to film a little content and soak in the views before we had to check into our Airbnb.
All right, well, after all that, we finally made it back and actually checked into our Airbnb right over here in the middle of downtown. I purchased a little sun shirt because I was getting scorched by the sun, so nice to have this. But yeah, so right now we're gonna go grab some lunch, kind of walk through the downtown. I'll show y'all a little bit of that. And eventually we're gonna make our way to the south part of the island where something pretty cool is gonna happen.
After getting some food and relaxing a bit at the Airbnb, we headed back out on the cart to explore the south coast and eventually make it to the meeting point for our next Puerto Rican adventure.
All right, y'all, we just parked the golf cart and we're actually on this awesome beach on the south coast of the small island of Vieques. And yeah, we got about an hour to kill before we have to meet up with our other little adventure that you're gonna see real soon. But yeah, in the meantime, we're just gonna have a fun time, probably get in the water, live some life.
After killing some time at the beach, it was then time to embark on one of the most famous things to do in all of Puerto Rico. And unfortunately, I can't exactly say this one lived up to the hype. The island of Vieques is extremely famous for having one of the very few bioluminescent bays in the entire world. This natural phenomenon occurs when the billions of microorganisms and algae that fill the bay emit a bright blue glow when they're disturbed. And as a result, it's supposed to look something like this. But unfortunately, because we visited during the full moon, it really disrupted the patterns of the algae and caused the glow to be much more faint. This is definitely something you're going to want to keep in mind when visiting the famous bay because the moon plays a huge role in how active the algae is, something that we had no idea. But we still made the most of it. For our final morning here in Puerto Rico, we decided to get up super early around 5 a.m. to try and catch the sunrise. Well, at least some of us did.
We just made it after a 5 a.m. wake up and we took the cart halfway across the island to hopefully make it for this awesome sunrise. But it's really cool. The place we actually went is on this giant road that just shoots off the island into the middle of the ocean, which you can all see behind me. Yeah, it's a little random. I guess there's like a ferry terminal over here, that's why. But yeah, this works out because this is a beautiful spot to watch both the sunrise and the sunset. Now it's time to just sit and wait and hopefully it turns out pretty good. Well guys, it worked out. There it is right there, peeking through the clouds. Looks like it ain't gonna last too long, but definitely worth it.
After that, we enjoyed one last joyride in the cart before it was time to catch the ferry back to the mainland. For our final night here on this island, we decided to take it a bit easy after the last few days and just spend some time walking around more of the old town. The last 4 days on this crazy island flew by way too quick. Despite how beautiful or fun a destination can be, I continue to find that it really is the company that makes a place so special. It's never really about where you are or what you're doing, but more about who you're doing it with. I truly think the four of us could have been anywhere and still had an amazing time, but I'm so happy we got to spend it on this magical island. I would highly recommend taking a visit to Puerto Rico this year because this place really does have so much to offer, not to mention it's such a quick and easy flight from the US. With that said, I hope you all enjoyed this video and I cannot wait to see you again soon on another crazy adventure. And trust me, they get crazier.